everyone. I hope you all are enjoying your Thursday so far. Welcome to today's webinar, Ratings and Reviews, How to Win Homeowners Trust Online. I'm really excited to be your host today. My name is Michelle. Steve is also here with me, and he will be helping us out by answering any of your questions you have throughout the webinar. In case you're not as familiar with Surefire and who we are located in Northern Virginia, and we help small businesses drive visibility through all channels on the web so they can continue to grow their business with ease. Our mission here is to educate businesses on a variety of topics to help you succeed and help the industry grow. We want to know who you are too, so let us know where you are joining us from today, which you can locate in the questions box on the right-hand side of your screen. And a few quick reminders before I pass on over to Kelsey. You will get the recording of this chat next week, and like I mentioned earlier, you can ask us any questions, make some comments, etc. in the question box on the right-hand side of your screen. And don't forget about today's giveaway. One lucky attendee will be winning a Google Smart Display at the end. Today we have BBB's Director of Communications and Public Affairs, Kelsey Coleman, with us. She's got a great presentation for you all. So with that, I will pass it on over to you, Kelsey. Take it away.
Great, thank you so much. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelsey Coleman, and I am the Director of Communications and Public Affairs for the Better Business Bureau that services the Metro Washington, D.C. and Eastern PA areas. I am so excited to be here with you guys today to talk to you about your online reputation and how you can actually use it to help you earn the trust of your customers. We're going to start today with a brief overview of what makes customers trust a business, and then we'll get into some examples of how you can actually use your online presence to show your customers what you stand for. Okay, so let's get started. A quick bit about the Better Business Bureau first. The BBB has been around for more than 100 years, really since the days of the snake oil salesman, when advertising was a bit of a wild, wild west. No one was really looking out for the consumers who were being misled by deceptive ads until the BBB was created. So with today's online, interconnected global economy, we're right back to that wild, wild west. And people need to know who they can trust. And that's where the BBB comes in to help. We have made it our mission to be a leader in promoting trust in the marketplace. In 2017, we provided more than 250 million instances of service, and we break that down into inquiries about a business, the complaints that we handle, our scam reports, and our customer reviews, and a number of other services that we provide free to the public. So that's a bit about us here at the BBB. Let's start by talking about the state of trust in the marketplace. How do your customers perceive your business? We all like to think that we're acting ethically and providing the best customer service that we can, but there are a lot of different factors that go into how a consumer perceives a business. And as we all know, the cost to retain a happy customer is less than it is to find a new one, and satisfied customers are likely to become repeat customers. So the question is, what do your customers think about your business? The BBB recently sponsored a survey, and we found that there are 5 big gestures of trust. So if we break it down, we can start with number 1 here, equitable. A consumer wants to feel like they're on equal playing fields with your business, and that your business isn't some big entity that's out there to get the consumer. The consumer wants to feel empowered. They want working with you to be stress-free, and they want to feel like they're invited and encouraged to leave a review for your business. They want to feel like you are on the same playing field together. Number 2, consumers want a business to be humble. They want to feel as though they, as the consumer, count, and that they're important to your business, and that your business's identity is rooted in giving. So for example, if your business is involved in community giving programs, proactive environmental programs, positive employee policies, and proactive engagement with your customers, then you're showing your customers that you're humble and that you value them. Number 3, the customer wants their business to be proactive. The customer wants their inquiries to be taken seriously and responded to promptly. A business that goes above and beyond attention to request and is constantly consumer-centric gives consumers the feeling that their business is proactive, which helps them to in turn trust you as a business. Numbers 4 and 5 go hand in hand in my mind. The customer wants the business to be both transparent and they want them to be honest. The customer expects the company to be open about its operations and its mistakes, and a customer wants to work with a company that can keep their promises. They want to work with a company that is direct and readily admits to mistakes. Both being transparent and honest helps to make the customer feel safe and helps to make the customer feel as though they can trust your business. So as we can see here, the chart all boils down to customers wanting businesses to give them that human experience. And this begins by showing the respect for the customer, as well as considering these 5 gestures of trust. If these gestures are key markers for consumers involved in business transactions, then companies who follow these gestures are more likely to have loyal consumers who feel respected and who are eager to do repeat business. So if you haven't already, try applying these gestures to your way of doing business and see what happens. It may transform the way your customers view your company. So to recap, we have gone over some things that can help your business stand out as a trustworthy company, and we can also point out these points as well. So it's important to always establish and maintain a positive reputation, honor all of your written and verbal promises, respond quickly and professionally to consumer concerns, always tell the truth, even if it costs you a sale, and be transparent and give your customers all the information they need to make a well-informed buying decision. Protect your customers' information and respect how they want you to use it, and communicate honestly about products and services. So if we take all of this information and put it into our daily business routine, we're more likely to be on the path to earning our customers' trust. So while your customers' trust is something that you must earn, there are continuous ways to show them online that you care. When you build trust into your organization from the ground up, you don't have to convince consumers to buy. Your reputation does the selling for you. Let's now take a look at some ways that your business can promote this trust using your online and social media presence. First of all, is your business online? 3.8 billion people use the internet, and 92% of consumers read online reviews. So your customers are out there and they're looking for your business. So if your business isn't online, it really should be. Your online presence is in some cases your customer's first impression of your business. So it's important to make sure that you stand out with your best foot forward. Oftentimes, like we said, your website is your first impression to a potential customer. And so these are just a few things that we like to say are good to include in your website. When your customer visits your website, they're really looking for things like your phone number, your company's address, photos of your work, your email address, and how to request a quote. But they're also looking to see that your company's website's content is informative and that your company is a reputable business in the industry. One way to show your customers that you're a leader in the industry is to have content that teaches them about your industry. Things like how-to posts and what to expect posts when hiring a contractor are great ways to show your customers that you know what it takes to be a reputable company in the industry and that you're here to help them through their home project or whatever their need may be. In addition to your website, you have an internet presence on things like directories, review sites, and maybe even on the BBB's website. Oftentimes, these sites will create a listing for your business without you needing to do anything. So you'll want to do a search for your company to see how your customers are seeing you. Pretend you're a consumer and do a search for yourself and see what pops up. Chances are, if you don't know what's out there about your company, your customer does. And depending on what they find, it may be keeping them from wanting to do business with you. So again, websites like Google My Business, Facebook, Yelp, the BBB, they're all free to have a listing. And in some cases, your listing will be created without you knowing. Many of these sites also offer customers the ability to leave a review. So we'll get into this more, but it's really important to know where your customers are finding you and what customers are saying about your business so that you can monitor these platforms for accuracy and so that you can successfully point people to your business. So going along the same idea of people looking for you online, there's a reason for it. Today's consumers prefer learning about your business from other customers, not you. In fact, 92% of consumers are turning to the opinions of friends and family over all forms of advertising. If a consumer sees a post about a company from a friend or a family member online, they are more likely to be influenced by that friend or family member's opinion. We're really living in the age of the customer, where the customer determines his or her experience with a brand. So again, in this online world that we live in, knowing what your customers are saying about you online is really the first step to managing your online reputation. And we'll continue to explore this as we go on. Social media can be a great tool for generating real conversations about your brand and building trust with customers and prospects. So instead of using social media as just another channel to promote your business, use it to build a community that believes in what you stand for. Social media is giving a voice to consumers in a way that no other medium really has done before. And so you want to be a part of that conversation, not just using it to promote your business. Engaging with your customers by monitoring the conversations and then responding as needed will be so important to your brand's reputation. All right, so this is a real life example of one local business who had a Facebook presence, or so they thought, but things started to take a turn when they started to get inundated with calls from their customers asking if they were permanently closed. It turns out someone had created a fake Facebook profile for them and had marked the pub as permanently closed. The owners were super upset and suspected that they probably lost a lot of business due to the fact that the people saw the Facebook page and assumed they had closed. They worked with Facebook for weeks to get the page taken down, but the damage was done. The pub owners admitted that they should have been monitoring their social presence, and if they had been, they maybe would have caught this fake page sooner. So the lesson here is always monitor your business's online presence. If you think you know where your business is being mentioned, it's always a good idea to do a weekly or a daily check to see what others are saying. So the key takeaways here again, it's really important to be monitoring where your business is being mentioned online, and having your own website is a great way to help control the conversation about your company. But it's important to realize too that there are other sites out there that may have started a profile on your business. So you'll want to think like your customer and do a search for your business to see what others are saying. We're now going to get into a topic of customer reviews and the effects that they can have on your business. But first, we'll take a quick little break.
Thank you, Kelsey. That was a lot of really good information. I think this is a good time to take a little break. Steve is about to launch a poll where you can select to have a private one-on-one call with one of our digital marketing experts, where they will give you an inside look to the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud and show you 3 to 4 tactics that our customers are using to win online. So let us know if either this Friday, Tuesday, or Thursday of next week works. If not, that's okay. You can just select, please help pick out a best time that works for you. So the poll is now open, and let us know what you guys select. And this is a great opportunity for you to see how partnering with a digital marketing company can make a huge improvement in your marketing efforts. And if you are already a customer, you can reach out to your coach and they will be able to help you further if you have any additional questions. And also, don't forget to submit any questions into the question box. We want to hear them so we can have Kelsey answer them at the end during the Q&A. Alrighty, so we'll let this sit for another few seconds and then we will let you take it back over, Kelsey. Alrighty, back to you.
Okay, so your customers are out there like we've been talking about, and they're looking for reviews on your business. These are some of the top types of businesses where consumers are viewing online reviews. And as you can see, the home contractor industry is up there. So what happens when you've been monitoring your social and online presence and you spot a negative review? What happens next? It can be scary thinking that what you write back will be something that your future customers will see. But when you do get a negative review, the first thing you should do is take a breather. You don't want to fly off your handle and do something to make yourself look bad, especially if you think the customer complaint is false. Your instinct is probably to react in the heat of the moment, but you won't want to regret it. Take some time and formulate a polite reply. Acknowledge the person who's been complaining and say that you appreciate the input. Explain your side and add that human touch. As we've previously discussed, consumers find businesses to be trustworthy when they have a human nature to them and when they provide that human touch. Surprisingly, getting a bad review really isn't the end of the world. In fact, 57% of consumers are actually suspicious of brands that only have positive reviews. Most customers won't write you off based on one negative comment. Many, however, will gain respect for your business if you respond to the comment in a pleasant and helpful way. Of course, that's not easy to do when you pour your whole life into your company and someone bashes it online, but you can turn it into a positive by engaging in a constructive way and showing that you're a genuine business. People aren't looking for perfection online. What they're looking for is humanity and a genuine response. So a negative review can really be a great opportunity to respond in a positive and transparent manner. And that has a good impact on all of your customers. All right, so this is a real review that's out there. And I want to just kind of go over it real quick with you just to show you the kind of good and bad of ways of responding to it. So this is a review for Joe's. The reviewer says that they were served a completely raw burger that was charred, black on the outside, and tasted distinctly of propane. And when they politely mentioned it to the server, they were rudely corrected by a manager who indicated that the burnt flavor was actually the smoked onions, which was noted on the menu. And they go on about the propane not being something that should be in there. And then in my 2 years of living in New York, I've never had a worse dining experience ever. There's a reason why this place has last minute tables available. Too bad it's a great location with lots of potential. And the owner comes back and says, Julia, it has been said an educated consumer is our best customer. Clearly, you do not fall in this category. You are an idiot. I remember your table after you and your girlfriend shared a burger and ate the whole thing except for the last bite. I'm sure you do the same with desserts you share with your friends. You then chose to complain about the burger after our server checked in with you several times. I even took the burger off your check. You're welcome. And then he wants to educate them on the use of propane. You're obviously not from NYC. Let me inform you about the uses of propane. And then he goes on to say there's an Applebee's in the Times Square down the way, and that he thinks that they'd be more comfortable there. So obviously, this is a beyond appalling response. Not only did the owner insult the customer, but he is overly defensive to the point of sounding hostile. After calling her an idiot, he goes on to suggest that they should go to the Applebee's down the street instead of returning to his establishment. So instead of telling the customer all of your thoughts on why they're wrong, when in doubt, this is the kind of answer that will suffice. Thank you for your honest feedback. I'm very sorry to hear that you had such a bad experience, and will be sure to review your comments with my staff in order to improve the experience for others in the future. It may be automated, but it's sure better than ranting. This is another example of Mother Bear's Pizza. The review says that I am not quite sure what the hype behind Mother Bear's is. The pizza is decent, but it's really nothing outstanding about it. Mother Bear's does a few things right. They're good about the amount of toppings, and the ingredients are high quality. And then they go on that the pizza doesn't leave much of an impression on them. The crust is always too greasy, and it's always a little chewy, doughy consistency. Overall, not bad. I'm sure people love it for the variety. And then he finishes up. And then the owner comes back saying, well, I'm glad you appreciated our high quality ingredients. I'm sorry you were disappointed with our pizza. I completely agree that the sauce and the crust are important to making a pizza delicious. That's why we make our own dough and sauce from scratch every day. If you have suggestions for us to improve, please let me know. Take care. So let me just say that Mother Bear's Pizza is an exceptional example of customer service done right. The owner indicates that he read Allie's comment by making a specific reference to the review and apologizes, which is important to do even when you think you've done everything right. He defends his restaurant without sounding defensive, which is also hard to do. And then he asks for suggestions from her so that he can improve. His reply is short, sweet, and to the point, all the factors that make for an exemplary response. The only critique I would have here is the timeliness of the response. Almost a month went by before the owner responded to Allie's review, and I just think it's a good example of a business that does everything right, yet a late response can really impact the effectiveness. Replying within 2 weeks is a perfectly acceptable period of time. However, keep in mind that when responding to these comments, the quicker the better. So again, don't let bad reviews ruin your day. Handled correctly, a negative comment is a great opportunity to draw attention to your business's many positive qualities. Turn the comment around by highlighting your strengths. Something along the lines of, I'm sorry you had a bad experience. We've been in business for more than 25 years. We serve thousands of customers a week, and we strive to create the best possible retail experience for the community. Responses like that are a great way to frame your story while also making the person feel heard and acknowledged. Remember that potential customers will be reading your comment, and you want to leave them with a positive impression of your business. On a more positive note, literally, we want to be encouraging our customers to leave us reviews. We want our customers to be our mouthpiece, and when happy customers leave positive reviews, it can drive leads to our business. In fact, 72% of consumers say positive customer reviews make them trust a business more. We want our future customers to see how well we handle our negative reviews so that our positive reviews can shine brightly. So how do we get positive reviews? One way to do it is just to ask. Most of your satisfied customers would be happy to give you one. Sometimes all they need is a friendly nudge. The point of sale is an ideal time to ask because that's when you've got your customer at the height of their euphoria. And when we've got our customers there, we can hand them a small takeaway card that invites them to share their experience. Some companies have added a QR code to these cards, making it quick and easy for customers to write reviews on the spot using their mobile device. These printed invites can also be used as a tangible reminder for customers to submit a review later. You can also add a call to action button on your website or social media page where consumers can click to leave a review. In the case of BBB customer reviews, when a customer leaves a review for you with the BBB, it will appear directly on your BBB business profile, and that can be a great reminder for why your company cares about your customer. We also want to respond to our positive reviews. Responding to positive reviews should be easy, right? It does sound easy, But it's also surprisingly easy to get this wrong. When contacting a positive reviewer, your purpose is simply to deliver a human thank you and let them know that you care. That's it. No gift certificates, no mailing lists, no event invites, no reactions to the minor complaint in their review, no request for them to tell more of their friends about your business. This may seem counterintuitive, but just try to put yourself in the reviewer's shoes and think about whether you would really want anything other than a simple thank you. While a gift or invitation sounds like a nice idea, it can also be misinterpreted as a bribe or a payment for the review. Remember, this customer already likes your business. Just use this opportunity to thank them and introduce yourself. So key takeaways here. Your customers are already checking you out online. They're looking for customer reviews, and your online social media presence can be a great tool for showing your customers that they can trust you. Regularly checking your online presence and tracking what others are saying is a great way to stay in the conversation with your customers. Always reply to both positive and negative reviews in a timely and professional manner. It may not take much to turn your naysayers into cheerleaders for your company. So what's the BBB's impact on helping to promote trust in the marketplace? The BBB has been in business of helping people find businesses that they can trust for more than 100 years. We have what are called our BBB accredited businesses, and it's those businesses who have promised to uphold our standards, undergo a vetting process, and respond to their customers if they ever receive a complaint in order to maintain their BBB accreditation. Consumers want to work with businesses that they can trust. They want to work with businesses who take that extra step to show them that they can trust their business. So in a recent survey, we asked consumers anonymously, so that they didn't know it was coming from us, how they would describe what it means to be a better business. In their responses, we consistently heard words such as honesty, respectfulness, trustworthiness, and that a better business is one whose primary focus is on benefiting the customer. 4 out of 5 consumers agreed that being a better business is critical for a more trustworthy marketplace. And consumers agreed that a more trustworthy marketplace improves people's lives. Consumers also agreed that the BBB is a standards organization that helps businesses be better, it helps people trust in the marketplace. So as part of our mission here at the BBB, we set standards for ethical business behavior, and we monitor compliance. We do that so that consumers have a way to weed out the good businesses from the bad, and so that businesses have a way to show their customer that they can trust them. More than 400,000 businesses across the US and Canada are accredited by the BBB, and these businesses have pledged to uphold trustworthy standards, and they have pledged to give back to their customers, answer their complaints, and consistently show their customers that they can be trusted. And in turn, they can use the BBB's trusted BBB accredited business seal in their marketing to symbolize to consumers that what they stand for is trust. We also asked our respondents how they view the accredited business seal. The BBB accredited business seal shows consumers that they are working with a trusted company. Consumers recognize BBB's accredited business seal as an instant symbol of trust when they see it on your website and other online assets. And as we can see here, our recent anonymous survey showed that 72% of our survey's respondents said they are more likely to have greater confidence to purchase sooner when they see the BBB accredited business seal. 71% said they are more likely to expect a better quality of product and service when they see the seal. 69% are more likely to make a purchase. 55% are more likely to come back for more purchases when they see a business is displaying the seal. And 54% are more likely to recommend the business. And 36% are more likely to spend more money when they see that the BBB seal has been displayed. So that's just a quick touch on how the BBB has been helping people for more than 100 years find businesses that they can trust. So to wrap it all up, your online reputation is something that takes time to grow and requires careful maintenance to ensure that your customers will see you in the best light. Social media has made it so that anyone and everyone can have a voice about your particular company, and they can use that microphone to say whatever they want. It's our job as the company to respond to our critics and our cheerleaders, because our negative reviews are actually something that we can use to benefit if we handled correctly. Customers want to see that human side of you. Responding to your critics and your fans alike can be a great way to show them that you are customer-centric. In today's tech-savvy world, our future customers care more about what others are saying about your business than what you're saying about your business. So keep in mind that customers look to these reviews to determine whether or not they want to do business with you. Make the reviews shine by always responding in a way that gives your business that human touch. All right, I'll turn it back over.
All right, thank you so much, Kelsey. All right, so before we get into questions, we want to ask again if you would like a one-on-one call with a Surefire team member to see a demo of the Surefire Cloud on either Friday, aka tomorrow, or Tuesday or Thursday of next week. The poll is now open for you to pick a time. Just select, please email me to pick a time if tomorrow or Tuesday or Thursday does not work for you, and we will help pick out a best time. So this is a great opportunity for you to see how partnering with a digital marketing company can make a huge improvement in your marketing efforts. So while you guys are answering the poll, we do have some questions, so we can get into those now. So the first one we have here is from Sarah. She wants to know, how can we be creative and unique in our thank you responses to reviews so that we're not posting the same response to each review?
That's a great question. And something, you can always kind of have that like general start out. I usually say something like, thanks for reaching out and sharing your opinion. And then I'll usually tag something back to what they said. We really appreciate how you liked, this about our company. That is something that we're striving to do each and every day, and really bring it back to their review and, pull out something from their review that stood out. And hopefully, and people won't criticize you too much if it's if the beginning at least is automated, but when being able to pull out something from their response is always a good idea. And then of course, just sounding like a human in the rest of your response is good too.
Great. All right, the next one we have here is from Caroline. How do you encourage customers to leave a review other than just asking, or is that the best method to get reviews from customers?
So asking is definitely good. You can also, there are definitely some ways that you can put little icons on your website. I know, at least for our BBB accredited businesses and non-accredited businesses, they can put like a customer review seal on their website, which links them directly to the review page on their business profile on our website. So there's definitely ways to incorporate that on your company's website. And then, just subtle little handouts that you can give after each transaction are just good reminders. You don't always have to, call it out, but hopefully when the customer is going through their materials, they'll see it. And, a lot of people are definitely, willing to give a positive review. So there's nothing wrong with asking as well.
All right. The next one we have is from Amy, and she wants to know, do you have any data on how consumers feel about shopping at a particular business based on their active role in community events or promoting local nonprofits online?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know that I have specific data, but what it does remind me of is the 5 gestures of trust. We definitely found that people want you to be humble and proactive. So like being out in your community. And I know there's been studies out there that have said that millennials really find this attractive in businesses because it's something that they value. And so it's definitely something that customers value. I don't have an exact number on it, but just being that proactive, humble company and utilizing that in your everyday practices is definitely good.
Great. The next question we have here is from Kevin. Do you know if how you respond to reviews makes a difference in how often you appear on Google search, or is it best practice to always post a response no matter how short or long?
That's a good question. I would think that it's, no matter what, short or long, it's good. I know each platform kind of gives you a different character length for how long you can respond, but definitely erring on the side of responding would be good, just in case somebody sees it. You wouldn't want them to see that you haven't responded. I'm not sure exactly how Google favors the responses, but it's just definitely a good practice to get into.
All right. Another question we have from Monica. We recently reviewed a bad review from a customer during the middle of their project because of a few things that got delayed and didn't go according to plan. It was out of our control. Thankfully, the rest of the project went great, and they turned out to be really happy at the end. Can we go back to that person and ask them to update their 1-star review of us? How do you suggest we approach that conversation?
For sure. I know we get that question a lot here at the BBB with customers who are kind of like in the heat of the moment, in the beginning of a project, they leave that negative review. And we as the BBB don't like if the business wanted us, we have to have the customer actually come to us to want to do it. We can't just, it can't be hearsay that they wanted to actually change it to be a 5-star. But if we would encourage the business to go and reach out to the company and say, hey, I'm so glad we were able to resolve your issue. We'd love it, and link to where they left the review. If you would, kindly update this review for us. Reviews, as you know, are a big factor in our business, and just kind of bringing in that human experience. Everyone can understand that a negative review is bad and it can hurt your business. So just bringing it back to that and then encouraging them to update it was definitely recommended.
All right. The last question we have here is from Danny. Should we prioritize some channels like Google and BBB over others like Facebook or Yelp, or should we try to get reviews on as many channels as possible and build slowly?
That's a good question too. I mean, definitely seeing where your customers are already leaving reviews is good. All of the sites, I know BBB's site and Yelp, they are Google indexed. So if the more customer reviews you have, the better it's going to help your SEO in Google. So it is good just to be getting those reviews in general. And at least on the BBB's business profile, once you get a customer review, your business profile generates a star rating. And that star rating is what's going to help your Google SEO. And so we're definitely encouraging at least to get a couple reviews on there just so that you can start getting that star rating and, getting that that presence out there.
Awesome. All right. Well, those are all the questions that we had. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Kelsey, for your answers. We are now going to, actually, wait, we just got one other question from Chris. Sorry about that. Do you think social media presence is important for all different types of companies? Take us, for instance, a geothermal specific HVAC company. Sometimes it seems like it isn't worth our time.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that you need, definitely having a website be your home base, I think is better. I know, for some that's definitely a budgetary, reason for not doing that. But I wouldn't say you don't need a Twitter necessarily if it's not your platform. Look for where your customers are. Facebook is a good way that you can update once a week just to check in and connect with your customers. But see where your customers are talking. If they're talking on Twitter, you can do a search, see if they're there. Then maybe you want to be on there too so that you can talk back with them. But it is a conversation. So just seeing where your customers already are is great. But I don't recommend just being on any old social media just for the sake of it. It's better to just focus your energies on one than while leaving your website too is kind of being your home base.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you, Kelsey, for your answer. All right. So now we're going to close up the poll and we're going to get on to the Google Home or Google Smart Display winner. And today's lucky recipient of the Google Smart Display is Anthony Strauss. Congratulations, Anthony. Please email marketing@surefirelocal.com with your full mailing address, and we will ship that right out to you. Huge thanks to Kelsey and to all of you for taking the time out of your day to join us. We hope you learned something new, and we look forward to seeing you on future webinars. And just a heads up before signing off, we have a webinar next week on Thursday, October 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern with our Director of Customer Success, Jeff White, where he will be sharing his insights on Google My Business. If you're interested in attending, you can click the link at the top of our homepage or email marketing@surefirelocal.com, and we would be more than happy to sign you up for you. Also, please take a minute to fill out the survey at the end and let us know how we did today and what topics you would like to hear about in the future. We love checking those out. What you suggest when we plan our webinar schedule. Thank you and have a wonderful Thursday.